Okay, we're going to take a stroll down memory lane here on this one problem, then we're going to learn a quicker way to do it, which I want you to use. Graph the equation y equals negative 2 times x plus 3. So we've graphed xy equations before, okay, using an input-output table. And you can pick any three numbers you want for x. You can pick 10 numbers if you want. Let's just go 3. I'm going to do 0, 1, 2, okay? Now, y is equal to negative 2 times x plus 3. That's what y is equal to, so I write that under the y. So now I substitute 0 for x. Here I'll substitute 1 for x, and here I'll substitute 2. It's called an input-output table. So we know that negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. So that 0, 3 is your coordinate. The input 0, the output 3. Now I'm going to do another one. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 3, 1, 2, 3, that would be 1. So input 1, output 1. The input of the equation is 1, the output is 1. Now, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 3, 1, 2, 3, you're at negative 1. So input was 2, the output was negative 1. So, now we're here. Okay, so 0, 3, x, remember, x is the first one, that's sideways, there's x, there's y. 1, 1, 2, negative 1. Now, I want you to take your ruler and connect those points, okay, as straight as you possibly can. Lined up. Just like that. Now, and arrows on both ends. Now, what's the point of a line? The point of a line is to see all the solutions, as many as you possibly can. So, using my line, I'm going to find another input-output solution. Just I'm going to pick this one right here, okay? So that would be 3, negative 3. That means if you put 3 in, you're at negative 3. I mean, I could use a bunch of different ones. I could do this one. I could go negative 1, 5, okay? I mean, unlimited. Now, we're going to learn a quicker way to do this, okay? Graph the equation by identifying the slope and y-intercept and give one solution point, okay? Now, if y is by itself, okay, and you just have this x over here, y is called the dependent variable. If that's by itself, I'm going to put a times dot. And we have something called slope and y-intercept. Whatever's multiplied by x is your m, and whatever this other number is, the constant number, not multiplied by x, that's called your b. Okay, so put m and b. Now, why is that important? So it's mx and b. mx, b. If you want to make the minus plus negative, go for it. mx plus b. Now, m is the slope, so you're going to put 1 over 4, and you want that to be a fraction. If it's not, you're going to put a 1 under it, but that was already a fraction. Now, the y-intercept is the b. It's negative 3. So then what I do is I go on my y-axis, this line here. It's an up, down 1, and just go down to negative 3. Okay? Now, remember what a slope is. It's rise over run. So, 1's positive, so you're going to go up 1, and the 4 is positive, so you're going to go right 4. So from that point, not from the middle, from the point you just made, the negative 3 point, you go up 1 and right 4. Now, do it again. Up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, that's a quick way now to get our 3 points. Okay? And it's one you're going to have to use consistently throughout the rest of the year. Okay? Take your ruler. Please put arrows on both sides. Now, give one solution. Well, why don't we just pick one that we made, okay? 8, I'll use this one. 8 is x, and negative 1 is y. So that means if you put 8 in for x, you're going to get negative 1 for y, okay? See, 1/4. If I would times the x replace that with 8 and add the negative 3, I'm at negative 1, okay? Next. So let's use the same method. Make sure the y is by itself. I want that line there, please. So m times x plus b. So slope, y-intercept. This goes really fast once you get the hang of it. Slope is -4/5. The negative is just with the 4. I said that in the other lesson. If you have a negative, it's only with the top, not with the bottom. You hear that? And then +6 is your y-intercept. So on the y-axis, go to 6. Now from there, okay, you got -4. So now it's rise over run. So that's negative, so now you're going down, but the 5's still positive, so you're going right 5. The negative is just with the top. Okay, so now you're going from here, you go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'll try it again. If I run out of room for the third point, no big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, okay, I ran out of room, nothing hurts. It'll just be these 2 points, okay? Try to get 3 if you can. But if all you can manage on your graph is 2, hey, that's okay. I can make the line. Now pick a solution point. You can pick the point you made. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just pick the point I made. Okay. So that means one of the solutions is 5 and then 2. 5, 2. Means if you put 5 in for x, okay, -4/5 times 5 plus 6. The output's going to be 2. Okay, I don't even need a calculator for this, okay, really, unless I'm checking it, okay. Next one, y. Y has to be by itself. Eventually it's not going to be, but today it is. MB. So slope, y-intercept, y-int. So the slope is your m, the y-intercept is your b. So the slope's -8. Now you need that to be a fraction, and if it's not, you put a 1 under it. And then +2 is your y-intercept. Now I didn't draw the numbers every time, so where would 2 be at on the y line? 1, 2, right there, okay? You can put in the numbers if you want. If you can do it without, that's fine. So now rise over run. So that would be down 8, right 1. You have to have the 1 there, okay? The slope should always be a ratio. So now from this point, not from the middle, from the point you just made, your y-intercept, you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right 1. And you can't do it again, obviously, and that's okay. It's a very steep line because that 8 is a very steep slope. Okay. Now, just pick that point. That's a solution. So I'm at +1 on x. -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6 on y, okay? If I take -8 times 1 and add 2, I'm at -6. Okay, example 4, y is by itself, so I've got m. Where's the b? Well, we don't have a b, so we put +0, and that's the b, okay? So slope, y-intercept. So the slope is 6 over 1. The y-intercept is 0, okay? So if the y-intercept's 0, then we're just right there in the middle, okay? Then rise over run. So 6 is positive, so that'll be up 6, and 1's positive, so that'll be to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right 1. Can't do it again, so 2's good enough. Okay, so a solution point, I mean, why not just use the one I made, okay? So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 6. I mean, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 0 is still 6. Okay, y is equal to 5, 6x, so mb minus 3. If you want to make it plus -3, go for it. So slope, y-intercept. Again, the slope is m, the y-intercept's b. So the slope, you have 5, 6, and then -3 is your y-intercept. So on the y-axis, you go to -3. 1, 2, 3. Then rise over run. So up 5 because it's positive and 6 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and you can't really do it again, so that's fine. So we know just by making that line, okay, at least a solution to find one of them, okay. The line's full of solutions, but I'll identify this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. That means if you put 2 in for x, or 6 in for x, my bad, 5, 6 times 6 plus negative 3, 2. Okay. Now this next one's kind of a pain in the butt. Y equals 5x plus 10. So MB. So the slope is 5. Of course, we need to put that over 1, so it's a ratio. So I have a rise and a run, and the y-intercept is positive 10. Mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. Little problem here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have to have this one go by 2's. Okay, so I have to count by 2's now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. You can do the negatives if you want, but this one does need to be numbered because this one goes by 2's. Now, just because I'm going by 2's here, I'm not going to number this because I can still go by 1's on the x. Okay, did you hear that? So 10 right there. So then rise over run. So you go up 5, right 1. But remember, when you go up 5, you're going by 2. So 2, 4, 5 right there. But I'm still going by 1's on the x direction. So just 1. Okay. Now I obviously can't do it again. Arrows on both ends, please. Okay, so that one right there, I kind of whiffed on it. So that's 1 on x, but then that's 15 on y. Okay, so that's one of the solutions. Now you don't really see another one because, I mean, 5 times 2 plus 10 is going to be 20. Okay, well, I don't have it up to 20, so. Okay, example 7. Y is by itself, so you got MB. So slope, y-intercept. So the slope is 3/5, and then negative 2 is the y-intercept, MB. Okay. So on the y line, negative 2. So right there would be where negative 2 is at on the y. Then it's rise over run. So rise is positive 3, run is 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can't do it again, so those are the 2 points. Okay. Okay, so a solution, just circle the one you made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1. So that means if x is 5, y is 1. Okay, next one. Y is by itself. If y is not by itself, you got a problem, okay, which you're not going to see today. Slope, y-intercept. Slope is m, the y-intercept's b. So negative 5 is your slope over 1, positive 7 is your y-intercept, okay. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, easy. Then negative 5, 1, so it's rise over run. So we're down 5, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get 3 if you can, 2 if you can't. Okay, I think by now you should be getting the hang of this, so I'm going to go to the other section of today's assignment. So you're 2 on the x. 1, 2, negative 3 on the y. You could also pick that one. That would be 1, 2. Okay, either one's okay. Get out, get out. And yeah. Now here's the second part. Now the graph of the lines there, you have to get the equation. And I've set this first one up for you. You got to find what the slope and the y-intercept is. Y equals mx plus b. Now, you want to find your b first, So on the y-axis, I make a point where the line where the line I have crosses the y-axis, right there. Now where's that at from the middle? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So positive 3 is your B. Okay, so again, I got 3. There's the y-intercept right there. That's where it crosses the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. Now here's how you get your slope. Rise over run. I'm going to put the calculator right there because I want you to pick a point to the right where it's right on the grid. No, right there. As close to it as you can get, okay, where it's right on the grid. Now, we know how to find the slope. We've been doing that, okay? So I start here on the y-axis. Always start there. And you got to go down 1. So negative 1 is your rise, 2 to the right. So, and it will be in simplest form. You won't have to reduce it as long as you picked at the point that's closest. See, if you're down here, then you're down 2 over 4. Okay, then you'd have to reduce it. Or like here, that's down 3 over 6. Okay, but if you pick the one closest to it, then you can ensure it's reduced. So negative 1 over 2. There's your answer. Okay, now you're going to write the equation yourself. Y equals blank x plus blank, plus, put an m under the first blank, a b under the second. So you have to find the m and the b. Remember, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So on the y, where does this line cross the y-axis? Right there, okay? So that's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So my y-intercept is negative 3. Now, pick your second point going to the right. You want to go forwards to the right. No, right there. Okay, perfect. So, rise over run. So you are up 2, so 2, and right 1. Okay, 2 over 1. Now, I would like you to do something. When you put it in the equation, if you have a 1 on the bottom, you're just going to write 2. Okay? Because in the equation, you won't see the 1 underneath. You'll see it on top if it needs to be. But if on the bottom we have a 1, we just put the whole number on top. Okay, next problem. Y equals blank x plus blank, mb. So I have to find my m and my b. Remember what these mean. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So that line crosses the y-axis right here. Well, that's at 0. Okay, so I'll put a 0 there. Now the slope, rise over run. Pick a point going this way. You want to be going to the right. Right there, I think's good. Okay, close enough. So that would be negative 1 as my rise because I went down, and 1 to the right. Remember, what did I just tell you? If you have a 1 on the bottom, you just put negative 1. Okay, and also if you have a 0, you get rid of it. Okay. Y equals negative 1x. I'm not going to flip on you if you leave the 0 there, but technically when 0 is added, you just take it out. Okay, next one. Y equals blank x plus blank. So mb. Plus, get that plus in there. That's important. So mb. So I have to find the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so the y-intercept, where does it cross the y-axis? Right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So your y-intercept is 4. Now, rise over run. Okay, so I got to, again, I want to be moving to the right. No, right there is good, okay? So, negative 2, because we're going down, that's your rise, and then 1 to the right. So negative 2 over 1. Now if we have a 1 in the denominator, we're just going to put negative 2. So y equals negative 2x plus 4. Okay, then the last problem, okay? MB. Okay, so you got to find your M and your B. So M is the slope and B is the y-intercept. So the y-axis, where does it cross? Right there. So from the middle, -1, -2, because you went down. Now, slope is a ratio of the line. It's the rise over the run. No, it doesn't quite cross it there. I'm going to pick here because I can tell. Okay, don't pick it here because you can tell it's a little bit off. So right there. All right, so 1, 2, 3, +3 is the rise, and 2 is the run. So 3/2. Now, that's in simplest form. The only row 3 and 2 are only in the first row together. Okay, so 3/2. Y equals 3/2 times x plus -2. Okay, that's it. First part, you're graphing the line and giving me a solution, and then the second part, you're writing the equation of the line. Okay. If the graph has absolutely nothing on it, just don't do anything with it. Okay. See, like here, there's nothing going on those graphs. That's just how my copy paper's made.